Rain slammed against the cracked asphalt as Leon sprinted through the city's forgotten industrial sector, his boots splashing through puddles of rust-colored water. Behind him, the metallic whine of drones echoed off the crumbling walls. The corporate enforcers had finally found him, one lowly human journalist with too many secrets about their alien integration experiments. A pulse beam scorched past his ear, lighting up the night. Leon dove behind a dumpster, clutching the satchel to his chest. Inside were data drives, proof that beneath the city, the megacorp Soltaris biotech was experimenting on off-world captives. He'd only meant to expose corruption. Now he was running for his life. The alley ended in a dead wall. His heart sank. Then he saw it. A circular grate near the ground, old and half-loosened. Without thinking, Leon kicked it open and dropped inside. The foul air hit him instantly, damp and metallic. He slid down a slope of slime and trash before landing hard in a shallow stream of sewage. The light from above vanished as the grate clanged shut. For a few moments, Leon just lay there, gasping. The drones didn't follow. Only the echo of dripping water and distant machinery filled the air. He pulled out his flashlight and flicked it on. The beam revealed the tunnel, massive, ribbed with corroded pipes coated in strange moss that shimmered faintly green. The city's veins, he thought. Forgotten by the surface. Leon trudged deeper, guided by instinct and fear. Then he heard it, a whisper, soft, melodic, in no human tongue. He froze. The flashlight trembled in his hand. It wasn't an echo. It was singing. The sound drew him to a wider chamber where ancient water filtration machinery loomed like rusted idols. And there, amid the dripping gloom, stood 3 figures. They were not human. They looked roughly his height, but their skin shimmered in pale iridescent tones, like pearl and moonlight. Long tendrils of translucent hair framed delicate faces, their eyes enormous and luminescent, silver with faint vertical pupils. Fins rippled from their forearms, their bare feet webbed and glistening. They froze as his light found them. The tallest, slender and poised, her eyes narrowing, raised a hand protectively in front of the others. The smallest whimpered, clutching at her sister's side. Leon instantly lowered the beam. Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you." Their language came in a hiss and click, melodic and eerie, but the eldest seemed to understand him, barely. "You..." "Surface?" she said haltingly, her voice musical, fragile. "Why you bring light?" Leon blinked. "You speak English?" "Little," she murmured. Her gills fluttered. "Light hurts, please." He turned the flashlight down toward the ground. The air glowed faintly green again, and he realized the moss, bioluminescent, was bright enough to see by. "Better?" The 3 sisters nodded slightly. The youngest peeked from behind the middle one, curiosity flickering in her eyes. Leon's heart pounded, not from fear, but awe. "I thought you were all gone." The report said none survived. The middle sister tilted her head. "Gone?" he exhaled. "You're Cerithians, right? From the ocean world that Soltaris colonized?" The eldest tensed at the name. "Soltaris," she hissed, her gills flaring. "The ones who burned the seas. We ran, hid down here." Leon swallowed hard. So the rumors were true. The corporation had brought alien refugees to Earth, but instead of protecting them, they had hunted them. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't know. I'm trying to expose what they did. That's why I'm being chased." The youngest stepped closer, her translucent hair catching the moss light. "You are hunted too?" she asked softly. Leon managed a tired smile. "Yeah, guess we've got that in common." Over the next hour, he learned their names, at least as close as human speech could manage. The eldest was Nara, the middle Vey, and the youngest Sira. They had escaped from Soltaris's underground labs months ago, fleeing into the sewer network where sunlight couldn't reach them. Their eyes and skin, evolved for the dark seas of their homeworld, burned under ultraviolet light. They had survived on runoff water, algae, and the strange glowing moss that only grew where the sewers met geothermal vents. When Leon told them what the corporation planned, to flood the tunnels and erase evidence of illegal experiments, the sisters looked stricken. "They will drown us again," Nara whispered. Leon shook his head. "Not if I can get this data to the surface." He tapped his satchel. These drives have everything, names, locations, proof. But I need a way out that doesn't lead straight into a drone nest. The three shared glances. Finally, Vey stepped forward. We know tunnels, old ways. We guide you. Leon hesitated. You'd risk that? Vey's silver eyes met his. You came with light. You turned it away. You speak truth. That is enough. Their journey through the lower tunnels felt almost dreamlike. The sisters moved gracefully through waist-deep water, their steps barely making ripples. Leon followed, sometimes slipping, sometimes laughing despite the stench and danger. Sierra giggled when he cursed after bumping his head on a pipe. Surface people soft, she teased. He grinned. Yeah? You try walking in shoes all day. She tilted her head. Shoes? Never mind. For a brief time, amid the decay and darkness, Leon forgot he was hunted. Then came the distant hum, the telltale sound of drones. Nara stiffened. They come. Down here? Leon whispered. Machines follow heat. We are heat. The sisters pulled him into a side tunnel just as light beams swept across the main channel. A squad of floating drones scanned the walls, their sensors glowing red. Leon clutched the drives tightly, praying the machines wouldn't detect them. One drone turned their way. Before he could react, Vey dove into the water, her body vanishing in a ripple. A moment later, she leapt up behind the drone, striking it with a burst of blue energy from her palm. It sparked violently and fell into the sewage with a hiss. The others followed her lead, darting through the water with alien grace. In seconds, the drones were destroyed. Leon stared, breathless. You can fight. Nara wiped glowing fluid from her hand. We fought before your kind came. We will again. They reached an ancient maintenance hatch deep beneath the old subway lines. Rust and corrosion had fused it shut, but Leon managed to pry it loose with a broken pipe. The faint hum of the city above filtered through. This leads to the old transit shafts, he said. If I can get to the surface terminal, I can transmit the data. Nara nodded but didn't move. Sunlight burns us, she said softly. We cannot follow. Leon hesitated. Then I'll come back. I'll make sure they know you're alive. You deserve freedom, Vey smiled faintly. We had freedom. For one moment. When we sang. Leon looked between them, their luminous eyes, their fragile forms, their quiet strength. You deserve more than hiding in the dark. Sierra took his hand suddenly, pressing something cold and smooth into it. It was a small pearl-like stone glowing faintly blue. Gift, she said shyly. For when you forget the dark, remember us. He closed his fingers around it. I won't forget. Leon climbed the ladder and pushed open the hatch. Daylight stabbed down, blinding him for a moment. He emerged into a half-collapsed subway platform, graffiti-covered and silent. He could still hear the faint hum of the sisters' song echoing below. He activated his communicator and transmitted the files. Within minutes, encrypted packets were bouncing through satellites and shadow servers across the globe. Sultaris Biotech's crimes would no longer be hidden. Then, before leaving, he knelt by the hatch. Thank you, he whispered. I'll make sure they never find you again. He dropped the glowing stone into his pocket and vanished into the light. Days later, news broke across every channel. Sultaris executives arrested, evidence of alien abuses confirmed. Leon watched from a rooftop, exhausted but smiling faintly. The stone in his pocket pulsed gently, as if alive. At night, when he closed his eyes, he could still hear their song, haunting, beautiful, echoing from the depths. And sometimes, when rain flooded the streets, he would see the drains glow faintly blue, as if three alien sisters still lingered below, watching the surface they feared but helped save. In the end, he realized something simple and strange. He had gone into the sewers running from death, and found beauty, compassion and courage that outshone the sun.